Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a get ready with me. I'm going to be doing my makeup and my hair. I'm going to be using the products that I personally recommend picking up during the Sephora savings event. To celebrate the savings event, Sephora was kind enough to partner with me by sponsoring today's video. So I want to thank Sephora for working with me and partnering with me on today's video. Everything I talk about, I will link down in the description box down below, and I will also pin a comment down in the comment section so that you can find those links very quickly, very easy. Let's go ahead and jump into the savings event details. It has officially began. I'm so excited. This is my favorite time to either pick up products that I love and use on a regular basis, or products that I've had my eye on. I will build my shopping cart up and wait for the savings event to go live, and then I'll hurry and check out. Like, I don't know. I know I'm not the only one that does that. It's my favorite thing to do. But I also love to go through new products and heart them so I can go back and look at my love section and see if I want to put them in my cart and check out. I don't know if I'm the only one that does that, but I love doing that. Now, to take advantage of the Sephora savings event, if you do not have an account with Sephora, it's super easy to do. All you have to do is enter your email, fill out a little bit of information about your name, phone number, all of that, and you can create your account. And once you create your account, you're automatically an insider. As you begin to shop, you will eventually go up to VIB and up to Rouge. Now, those are the memberships. If you are a Rouge member, you will not only save 20% off, but you can shop now. If you are a VIB member, you will save 15% off, and you are able to start shopping on November 5th. And if you are an insider, you are also able to start shopping on the 5th, and you will save 10% off. This sale starts on the 1st and ends on the 11th of November, which I think is really easy to remember. The code to use at checkout, whether you go in store or you go online, is savings, and that will give you the percentage off. If you prefer to buy online, you will get free shipping on all orders, which I love. Free shipping is always great. The best thing, in my opinion, about the Sephora savings event is everything from the Sephora collection is 30% off for everyone. Whether you are a Rouge, a VIB, or an insider, you will all save 30% off of the entire Sephora collection, which they have amazing stuff. I have so many products that I personally love and recommend from Sephora's collection, and I will definitely link them down in the description box down below as their own separate kind of link, so you can go straight to there, because it is a really good time to pick up brushes. I love their little makeup totes. I love their glosses. Sephora collection has a wide variety of amazing products. So like I mentioned earlier, in this video, we're gonna be doing a get ready with me, and I'm gonna be sharing with you some of my absolute favorite products from Sephora. For example, these are my two favorite foundations that are available at Sephora. This LYS Beauty, which is new, I'm absolutely in love with. I'm wearing it right now. It's so beautiful. It's a beautiful skin tint. My holy grail, like the Haus Labs Triclone foundation never lets me down. It's one of those foundations that no matter when I wear it, I know my makeup's gonna look good and it's gonna last all day. One of the prettiest foundations, in my opinion, on the market. So these two are definitely the stars of the show when it comes to foundation. Also, love, love, love these glosses from Sephora, and you get these for 30% off right now, which that's the reason why I wanted to share with you guys. If you're in the market for a new gloss, these are fabulous. It's not too goopy, so they give you the perfect amount of shine, but it's never goopy. And like I mentioned throughout the Get Ready With Me, it's one of those formulas that if you're wearing a beautiful lipstick and you don't want it to overpower the lipstick where it completely removes it, this is like the perfect gloss for that, because it gives you the shine, but without being thick. And I'm not a big fan of thick glosses. And Sephora collection has the most beautiful glosses. This one has a shine to it. So it has a little bit of shimmer, which I love. You can see as soon as I put that over my lips, you can see how it's shining. This one is the shade 08. It's so beautiful. Oh, these Sephora glosses are gorgeous. Look at that. So pretty. This one is a little bit brighter of a pink. This one is number 7, and it is such a beautiful shade. Yeah, I keep these in my purse all the time. Gorgeous glosses. Many of you guys know how much I love my Dyson. I've had it for many years and I'm obsessed with my Dyson. So I use it today. We're doing a full get ready with me. Makeup to hair, we're doing it all. I will leave all of the sale details down in the description box down below, and also pin a comment so you guys can go directly down there. Find it very easy. All the information will be in there. And if you have any questions, definitely comment and I will answer them to the best of my ability. And let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, let's talk about a few concealers. So these 3 are the ones that I've been using the most, I would say, over the last couple of months. This one for sure. I've been using this as like a spot concealer kind of all over the face before I go in with a foundation. This Natasha Denona concealer is so beautiful, especially on those days that you need a full coverage. But it's very serum-like, but it has so much coverage. I think it's one of the prettiest full coverage concealers that I've personally used. You know, a lot of the times full coverage concealers can be really heavy, and especially as you get older, you really don't want like a really thick, heavy concealer for that coverage. So I do really like how serum and thin this is, but like max coverage for the consistency of the actual concealer itself. The newest one that I've been really, really loving is the new one from Westman Atelier. I've been using it for the last couple of weeks. It is less is more with this concealer, so it's not really one that you want to add too much of. It's a thicker consistency. So with that said, it can have a tendency to kind of lay a little heavy in the wrinkles if you use too much of it, because it is a thicker formula. But I love the Backstage. It's become kind of like my holy grail, especially for spot concealing. So I'm going to show you guys how I have been using this. I think I've showed you before, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to show you. I like to do just a few stripes, kind of just all over the face. And I don't really re-dip. So I'm using the one dip all over the face, right? So the one dip on the brush, see how clean the brush is becoming? So I don't go back in and pull more product out. So I use this to kind of just go all over and give me a nice like canvas of coverage. What I like about that concealer is it's really thin. Kind of has a little bit of a iridescence to it. Now I'm gonna go in with the Westman Atelier. I've noticed that if I put my concealer on first, I use way less foundation. As I've gotten older, the more base makeup I use, like foundations, concealers, the more I use, the more I kind of pack it on, the worse it looks. I'm gonna put the Westman Atelier like right here, and then I'm just gonna kind of blend it out. And I'll kind of drag it down because I do like kind of covering down into this area with my concealer. So I like to just kind of drag it. And I'm also gonna bring it up on my eyelids just to kind of even that tone out as well. This concealer goes a really long way and it spreads a long way. Now that I kind of have a little bit of something on, now I'm gonna move on to a new discovery that I bought a couple weeks ago and I'm absolutely obsessed with. This is the new LYS Triple Fix Blurring and Hydrating Skin Tint Foundation Stick. It's $25. It comes in 22 different shades and it's fabulous. It's such a beautiful skin tint. It's like the other stick products that they have. You just twist it. And I love this. It is so beautiful. And it like melts into the skin in the most natural way. Oh, it's gorgeous. See how buttery it is when you're blending it out? It's like, it like melts into the skin. And that's why I like to put a little bit of concealer down, just to kind of maintain the coverage throughout the day. Because it is a hydrating stick, I notice that sometimes throughout the day, you know, maybe by like hour 6, 7, 8-ish, I will start to lose a little bit of coverage. But if I have a little bit of that concealer underneath, it feels like I maintain the coverage a lot longer. Then I like to kind of push it into the skin with a sponge just to make sure that there's no like extra product kind of setting on top of the skin. So I thought my camera was recording, and it was not. Talking about the LYS, again, it is a gorgeous product. So this is kind of like their contour slash like bronzing stick. You just have to be careful not putting a lot on. So you can see I just did like small little dots, but look at the pigment. It's a very pigmented product. Comparing it to something like the Makeup by Mario, which I also really love, this one is a little bit more on the natural side. This is gonna give you some structure. This is gonna give you some sun. And I would say, this is my opinion, the color's the same and the way it blends out to me looks the same. So you guys know I've been loving the Westman Atelier. This is the Face Trace Contour Stick. I have it in the shade Truffle. I use this all the time, but when I started using the Makeup by Mario, I realized that even though when you swatch the Westman Atelier, it's much darker. When you blend them out, they look very similar. Just kind of depends on what mood I'm in for the day. Like right now, I would really like to give my skin a little bit of structure. Going in with LYS, you just have to be really careful not to use a lot, but it's so creamy, so buttery, blends so beautifully into the skin. And then I like to just go over it with like my foundation brush and like buff out those edges. Let's move on to blush. And I have to, again, talk about the Patrick Ta. These are the Double Take Cream and Blush Duos. Love this one. This one's in the shade She's Blushing. The one thing that I love about this is the blush has a little bit of that iridescence to it. So it's not glittery, it's not shimmery, but it's iridescent and it's gorgeous. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on. I like to put the powder on first and then kind of tap the cream over top. So I'm gonna put my brush in, picks up a lot. So I like to tap off. I like to go over it with my foundation brush. It happens when you powder, sometimes your blush kind of disappears. So once I powder and get all that done and then I set my makeup, I will go in with a little bit of the cream blush to kind of bring it back to life. For bronzer, I'm gonna grab my Gucci. Still to this day, one of the prettiest powder blushes I own. Still to this day. I mean, it came out years ago and I still love it as much as I did from the very first time I tried it. It's just one of those gorgeous, gorgeous powder bronzers. And I'm basically going to kind of like add this to the areas that I put the LYS Beauty. For powder, I have 3 recommendations. Still one of my favorite Holy Grail powders is the Hourglass. It's a very natural translucent setting powder. So it sets the makeup, but without being heavy and thick in areas. I've recently fallen madly in love with the Ultra Blur from Laura Mercier. It's really, really beautiful. And I would say this kind of locks the makeup a little bit more than the Hourglass. I think it's a little bit thicker of a powder. One that really locks makeup. I mean, if you are oily skin, this from One Size, I think would be like a game changer. It locks and loads. I mean, it is a powder that will lock in that makeup and it is not budging. I recommend this especially for like picture days, like if you're going to be doing a lot of photos or if you're going to be gone all day and you really want your makeup to look really locked and loaded. This is one of those powders. Because I use the Hourglass all the time, I'm going to go ahead and use the One Size, and I just put some down into the cap. And I like to use my Hourglass powder brush. As far as mature skin goes, if you have oily skin, I would recommend this one. If you have more like maybe normal to dry, Either one of these two is the ones that I would recommend. Now we're gonna move on to setting spray. And I recently bought this from Makeup by Mario and it's fabulous. It reminds me of the one from Hourglass. So this is the Veil Soft Focus setting spray, and this one is the soft setting spray from Makeup by Mario. It's so similar in the way that it sprays and the way that it locks the makeup. For example, like the one from Charlotte Tilbury kind of makes your skin wet. Like it does. It like meshes all the powders and all the makeup and kind of like meshes them together, right? Which I really like the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. I do. What made Hourglass a little different is that it doesn't do that. It doesn't make your skin feel really wet. There's a softness to it. Same goes for the one from Makeup by Mario. Like I'm telling you, they're so similar. Hourglass is 42 cents per mil. The Makeup by Mario is 34 cents per mil. So it is a little cheaper. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shake and then spray. What I also like about the Makeup by Mario is it doesn't have any fragrance. I like that it doesn't have a scent to it. I'm just grabbing a little bit of my Gucci powder and I'm just gonna go right underneath the eye. I'm gonna go back into the cream part of the blush. Let's move on to eyes. There was one palette that I would recommend. It would be this one from Makeup by Mario. I have absolutely loved this palette since I got it. The colors are perfect. It is the perfect neutral palette. It's the perfect palette to pair with even like cream eyeshadows or even the foiled shadows, like single shadows, even other palettes. So let's just say that you have a palette that's more warm and maybe you're looking for some neutral tones, but it doesn't have it, like, or vice versa. You're in a cool tone palette and you need something that might be a little bit more on the neutral side. Like this is a beautiful palette. It's a very user-friendly palette. For example, this is like the perfect palette to give to my daughter. She doesn't use eyeshadow. She doesn't really know how to apply eyeshadow. This would be the palette I would give her because of the variety of tones, but how easy it is to use and how easy the pigments blend. The powders are soft, but also pigmented and they don't just fly away. Sometimes powders can be a little too soft and they kind of dust away. I'm gonna first start with a really small kind of blending brush and I'm gonna go into this middle shade right here. And I'm just gonna kind of like carve out my crease area with that shade. By the way, the glosses that I keep putting on, these are from Sephora. They have great glosses. If you've never tried Sephora's glosses, I have two shades here. This one is number 7, the brighter pink, and this is kind of a plum color. This one is number 8. They're a really good topper gloss too because they're not too thick. So if you have like a lipstick on and you want to go over it with a tiny bit of gloss, like this is the type of formula I would recommend because it's not too goopy to where it's just going to completely disrupt the lipstick underneath, but it's just going to add some shine. Fabulous formula. Now I'm going to go dip into both of these shades right here. I am going to start kind of putting that right along my lash line. I'm also going to bring that on the lower lash line and kind of connect it. Now, I also really love these cream eyeshadows. Like I mentioned in my recommendations video, these cream eyeshadows from Merit are fabulous. I think I'm gonna add a little bit of this Mid-Century to my crease. That's what I love about this formula is that I can go directly over top of powder eyeshadow and it blends flawlessly. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a little bit of this Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. You guys have heard me talk about this formula and this shade so many times, and it's still such a beautiful pigment. And right now during the Sephora event is a perfect time to grab it. It blends flawlessly and it looks so beautiful with anything. I personally love the champagne shade. I have several of them and it's my favorite of them all. But it goes good with just about anything I pair it with. So I have some here on my brush and I like to just kind of stick it here on the eyelid. And it looks really good applied with a finger as well. Doesn't get the hype that it deserves. It's one of those that should go viral, but doesn't, you know? Okay, so I went ahead and finished this other eye. And because I was doing more browns, I went ahead and put on the Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Pillow Talk mascara in the shade Dream Pop. Here's the thing about this mascara. I don't like it when I first get it. It will kind of leave the marks, you know, underneath your eyes. Once it starts to get a little bit dry, it's flawless and it applies beautifully. It doesn't smudge. And I love the Dream Pop color because I feel like it gives dimension to the lower lash line, but in a very soft way. And it's so beautiful with brown eyeshadow. I also think, like, if you don't have lashes on like I do, I think it would be beautiful on the upper and the lower lashes. I wanted to mention it. Let's move on to lips because I just wiped them off and my lips are really dry. As you can see, I have a natural lip line that's darker. I've had a few people ask me about that over the years, and I just do. I've always had it. My mom has it. It just, you know, it's my natural lips. What are you gonna do? For lip liner, this is from Makeup Forever. This is the Artist Color Pencil in Extreme in Limitless Brown. This is stronger. This pencil, like for example, how it compares to the original, these are much more blendable. Like you can put it on and leave it and then blend it out later and it blends. These new ones, you have to blend as you go, but they last longer. So I'm gonna start with my lower lip and blend it as I go. As far as the lippy, I'm gonna grab this shade from Makeup by Mario. This is a beautiful shade. It is so stunning. Got to tell you what shade. This is Bronx Baby, and it's beautiful. It's like the perfect kind of fall tone. Makeup's done. Let's go ahead and move on to the hair. So if you guys have been with me for a while, you will know how much I love Dyson Airwrap. This has been like my ride or die. This is the best tool. I love everything about my Dyson, but I think the thing that I love the most about it is the volume that it gives my hair. I wear hair extensions, and typically hair extensions are pretty much only supposed to last maybe up to a year. The extensions that I have in now are 15 months old, just over a year old, and still going strong. I mean, they look really good and healthy and thick. So I know it's all due to, number one, the shampoo and conditioner I'm using, the Oribe, the Gold Lust. That's the only one I like from them, just being honest. And the styler. Like, I know that this Dyson does not trash my hair. It doesn't. So in this video, I'm just gonna do a get ready with me where I'm just gonna do my hair. I have several videos of me using the Dyson, how I use it, what sizes I like, and how to, you know, work it. I have several videos. All you have to do is go to the YouTube search bar, put in Tara Lynn Dyson, and several videos will come up. So in this video, I'm just gonna kind of keep it short, but I am gonna use the styler so you guys can see how my hair goes from like this, that's flat, especially on the top, my hair is so flat, to volume, curls, stunning. So let's get into it. I'm gonna take the Oribe texture spray and just add some texture to my freshly clean hair. It's all done. And I did use the smaller piece for all of the hair except for the front pieces. For the front pieces, I switched to the bigger one. Once I'm done, I just tip my head over, kind of shake them out, and then just start kind of piecing it together. I'll show you guys the back of it. You can see just how beautiful the curls are. That's it. Hair and makeup is done. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in today's video. Thank you to Sephora again for partnering with me by sponsoring today's video. Like I mentioned earlier, all of the links on all the products that I mentioned in this video will be linked down in the description box down below, along with I will pin a comment so you guys can head down there and check out those links. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you. Bye.